And we've still got the Treant Protector that could be yet to come. I believe in both of their wins that did also join the Earth Spirit Viper pairing.
Sure,
So
yeah.
it's something that they've let through for RR, which is kind of surprising. And even just then, like just to go back to the Rubik super early on, I know we're harping on it about it a little bit, but it's a bit out of place with the Spectre being able to rip apart these supports. It's not like it's a Lion, you know. You can't just get rid of that Haunt illusion straight away when Spectre presses it on you. And you're a Rubik. You don't want to press something like, you don't want to buy a Glimmer Cape or you don't want to buy a Ghost Scepter super early on. You need that Aether Lens, you need that Blink Dagger. You need to be able to kind of make these plays happen in these team fights. So not much is left for the defensive side of things for yourself.
The more I look at this draft, I feel like they should have just picked a Grimstroke instead or something, because
Yep.
now it's a Rubik supporting a Jug. That doesn't seem great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do have a really, really strong lane, though. If this is going to be, more than likely, that's an Enchantress Jug lane, and you can kill the Viper very, very easily. Like, level 1 Viper is incredibly weak, and you've got the Enchant Slow for the Blade Fury. Jug's lane's okay as well, because you can purge off the poison attack. Of course, it's a bit of a longer cooldown, but overall, I like what Neon are going with kind of with their draft. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult, though, but Neon have to play super fast. Like, you've got the heroes to do so, and this is where Neon always thrive with as well. Like, going this early aggression, just running teams over. The last pick is going to be... this is where the draft is really going to get set into place here, though.
Yeah, I mean, that Viper could be dying many times in lane with this. You have to think, like, the Blade Fury duration is 5 seconds, level 1 enchant is nearly 4 seconds, and you're a Viper, which is one of the slowest heroes in the game, and you're not wanting to buy any kind of movement speed to start with. So positioning is going to need to be perfect. It might be getting even harder once you get some of these Enchantress creeps, so we'll see how on point they are with BDZ in particular, being able to block up some of these Radiant camps. It could be tough for the Viper, but they're going to go for the Razor to kind of, maybe think that, well, this lane might not go super amazing, but at least let's be able to control the enemy's POS 1 when it does get to the skirmishing part of the game.
And I guess that kind of also forces Doom into an offlane role, which it could have gone mid, it could have gone offlane, but if Razor's basically guaranteed to be the mid, then I don't think Doom wants to go there. He'd rather deal with the Spectre instead. So both teams, I guess Neon looking for their mid laner, and Execration looking for another support. Neon bans out the Oracle, and Execration bans out the Lina.
They have to ban Quat. I would be so incredibly surprised if Quat doesn't get banned. I know this is a hero we don't see a lot, but like you just said, Doom, you're not going to go mid because of Razor matchup, and you're not going to put Spectre mid as well, or in the off lane. So the lanes for Execration, you're able to recognize how they're going to play it. So that Razor's mid. You need one of the better ways to deal with him in the lane, because that's how Execration are going to play. This Razor has to pop off, has to be the lane dominator, because you're worried about the Viper lane. Spectre, mediocre laning stage hero as well. And the reason why I like the Queen of Pain even more is because this is a lot of burst potential in the early game that can enable them to run over, and they don't really have that full burst as well from Neon at the moment to bring down a Razor or Spectre. So I think Queen of Pain is just going to perfectly fit in that draft.
We'll see. It's a little bit off meta, though, but I don't think Neon's one of those teams that cares about it all that much. Also, tons of pure damage as well coming out there, which can deal with that Viper super early on. Hell, even the little mini pushback from the Sonic Wave to be able to deal with a static link. Maybe, kinda, who knows.
Execration looking for their other support. Mirana has still been left inside the pool the entire time, and so maybe worth consideration. I do think that they need some follow-up stun. I don't think Earth Spirit Rolling Boulder, well, okay, never mind. They go for a Phoenix into a Juggernaut, and Neon immediately pick up a Batrider.
Quick Batrider. How do we feel about this?
I don't like either of these last picks.
Yeah.
No.
It's fast,
It seems a little odd. That was the one thing that I was looking at. Okay, so it is going to be a 5 Rubik instead of the Enchantress. So the other thing that I was sort of considering when all of this was happening is when this Enchantress was picked up, are they going to try and go for some weird little mix-up where it actually is like an off-lane Enchantress, where because Skem's been known to get a ton of farm in his time. I think yesterday on his Mirana, he was getting a ton of farm. He was actually ahead of the enemy offlaner. I think it was Death at the time. But he just couldn't do anything with it because you're a Mirana. It was all just support utility items as opposed to anything that's going to do damage. Ange is very capable of doing damage if you just leave her there to rain down havoc. And when you've got, you know, the dual fire brothers in the Doom with his Scorched Earth and the Firefly running at your face, oftentimes you do get that freedom to just be able to sit back and free cast those impetuses.
Yeah, and seeing as how there's literally only one stun on the side of Execration, I do feel like CTM is just gonna have the world as his oyster, because at most it's the break from Nether Toxin that's kind of restrict his, I don't know, freedom to move around, but like, other than that, I really see how they're gonna struggle. Execration's gonna struggle to keep Neon in place, but at the same time, maybe they don't care about that, because they've got Sunray heals, and that's probably why they were, oh yeah, you know, who cares about stuns? Let's just keep our Spectre and our Razor and our Viper alive constantly. The best offense is a strong defense, maybe?
Sure. I mean, there's not even any amazing Skadi builders on this lineup, right? They're going to want to go for attack speed on the Juggernaut to be able to eventually deal with the egg when it gets to the late game. And then no real supernatural Spirit Vessel builders. I feel like Enryu needs to be that secondary form of initiation that's going to be able to, you know, go in on the deep end. But I don't know. It's so close to call. Honestly, I don't want to even put my chips on the table. It's that close.
Yeah, I am not looking forward to having to predict which one of these teams, but luckily I don't have to. I get to watch it with you guys casting it. Aries and Danog, take it away.
Thank you, Tsunami. Danog, game one, and with the draft this even, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as well. I'm looking at the draft, and I don't know which way to go, to be honest. I mean, the last pick from either team, I was a bit intrigued by. I mean, the Phoenix in particular, you brought up the fact that Juggernaut, that's one of the best carriers in particular to be able to deal with the Supernova. They don't have the greatest AoE control, even BKB piercing control as well to protect that egg. Not even to mention just the stuns they're lacking overall. Like, this means that the Razor static link very easily could be disjointed in fights. So, you know, potential 4-staffs are going to get picked up for Neon. I know we saw there was a game yesterday where there were 3 4-staffs picked up as the first item from both the supports and the offlane. So this could just be the recognition here for Neon with their itemization. But how do we feel? Because this is a Rubik 5, and I know we were questioning the Rubik a decent amount. Do you like them putting the Rubik on Januel?
Not a huge fan. I feel like this lane was just so good if you had the Enchantress together with the Juggernaut. Like,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The Viper wouldn't have had a game. So I guess doubling down on the fact that, okay, we've got this Rubik super early on. Hopefully this isn't going to be another situation where, you know, Neon have kind of overthought themselves, because, you know, sometimes the simplest Dota is the best Dota. Make it easy to execute. Is he going to get scouted out as he places this Observer Ward? Don't think so.
Thing I do like about Radiant's lineup is this early aggression that can come out from them. I mean, the Batrider, I know I was asking for the Queen of Pain, but the Batrider definitely kind of fulfills that role as the early aggression hero. Probably going to see maybe the first 10 minutes might be a little bit more passive, relying on those ancient stacks to be able to get that Boots of Travel here for Yopaj, but they do not have a Dispel. You know, a small Dispel or a hard Dispel. So the Batrider is going to have free reign of this game, and without any stuns as well. It's going to make it so difficult. So I think Neon, there's going to be a big timing that comes through for them around, you know, the 15, maybe even 14-minute mark here. And the question is that the Spectre, Palace, what is your itemization going to be? Potentially, you know, we've seen that Blade Mail sometimes if he gets pushed out of the lane, but the Echo Saber as well can help out getting active early. But that's my one issue. Like the Juggernaut, you're a carry that can actually get pretty active early on in the game, which is a nice thing about this hero. Whereas the Spectre, not so much. So all eyes on Neon. When they have a lineup where they can play aggressive, we love Neon. Just, they've won our hearts over through Season 1, you know, through the Singapore Major. They look so incredibly strong in a lineup like that. Let's see if they're able to do it here.
They're already looking to get aggressive. They're invading straight away into a Razor, which is kind of surprising. Natsumi, he's not going to commit. He's not going to lose too much of his HP, so they should be just fine. And are Execration going to get 3 bounties here? It looks like they will, being able to have Palace invade the enemy jungle. So nicely done there. I mean, the other concern that I have for Neon is that realistically, they only have 1 egg hitter. Like, the Juggernaut is it. I don't think the Rubik is going to want to be in a position too many times to be close to
I love this, Nico.
They found him.
Oh. Surely. But they're a bit split now. What's
Not the
going
creep
on?
wave, at
Okay,
least.
they're gonna see him. The
There
General
he
got
is.
telekinesis. They've even got RR here nearby.
There's
And
the
here
combo.
we go. This is what we were speaking about. Level 1 Viper is trash. And I was a bit concerned coming into it, the fact that Neon, they let the Earth Spirit through, they let the Viper through. That was the opener that Execration had in both their games' victories versus SMG. But if you're going to leave those heroes in, it must mean that Neon have an answer to it. They've done their homework, and starting with the tri-lane early, that is a big first blood on Nico.
Is this just a gentleman's agreement to have tri-lane be tri-lane to start things off? Because I don't think you want that as a Viper. I think you're more than happy to be this Enchantress, this Juggernaut to start things off. Rubik obviously not quite as strong, but no, eventually the Phoenix comes up towards the top side.
And I feel like you're okay with Enryu being solo. Like, yes, Palace is going to get a little bit more out of it than with the Spectre, but solo experience for the Doom, and he's going to be able to get active really early on. That high levels in the Devour as well might mean that timing that I was highlighting might just be maybe a minute earlier.
Holy crap, have a look at... Well, I'll leave it until this potential fight goes away, but okay, nothing's happening. Look at what they have done to the Radiant jungle. They body blocked the camps right next to the lane, and then they got rid of 2 camps with sentry wards. So he had to go and get this Frost Ogre Mage. Probably a really good one, to be honest, but there's not much that's going to be able to get grabbed up after that. Ooh, the Hill Troll Priest is actually really nice. You get that that mana regeneration coming through on CTM.
Yeah, not
Allows you
bad.
to spam out your abilities a lot more.
You see, he's had enough. He's like, where the hell are my camps? I'm up top. I got no camps to use. Alright, we'll have the disassemble of the tri-lane, but it looks like that damage has been done on Nico, so giving up first blood there. And how about mid though? How's this going for Yopaj and Yowei? It's like the Batrider 7, 8, and 9. Okay.
Very nicely done by Bat. Always just wanting to bully away this Razor. Obviously nowhere near as strong as the Razor v melee matchup. Trying to keep those napalm stacks up on him, but I don't think he's going to be able to. You were talking about before, like, what sort of build is the Spectre going to go? It has to be Blade Mail. It absolutely has to be. They've got a ton of unavoidable damage when you've got that Firefly, the Flame Break, the Scorched Earth, which are going to be leveling up, so why not just turn it back against the enemy team?
I am intrigued to see how Execration supports are going to be able to mitigate the Batrider in this lane as well. Because you take a look, like Enchantress, Rubik, you can bring a creep, dive under that tower, maybe even with the catapult wave. That could be the timing they're looking for on Neon. And you got a Phoenix. Like, this is kind of an immobile hero, not the greatest at being able to rotate early. First Spirit's definitely one of the better supports, but you take a look at Neon, they've got 2 stellar supports at that role.
Yeah, for sure. And we can see that that's the main aim of the game for BDZ as well. He's already got the urn queued up, gone a decent way towards it with 5 last hits being able to be picked up by contesting a lot of these neutral camps. I'll give them a pass on Execration because they used a lot of these sentry wards to block up these enemy camps, but this ward next to Yopaj in the mid lane, he always places it there, or he always places it at the top of the stairs just to the right of him. So you place that sentry ward in the middle, you will get it 100% of the time. So it might be one of these little things where that tiny bit of extra vision might save him from a gank that's going to be coming through from this Ember Spirit, this Earth Spirit super early on.
Yeah, and that's where he's worried about, the Earth Spirit from that bottom side. So you see him kind of angling a little bit more there. Natsumi bot, he's going to fall though. Nico, Power Spike coming through every extra level in the poison attack. BDZ as well is also level 3, so that is a great move from them. And this is kind of what we saw in, I believe we had day 1 and our first game as well with the Viper. As soon as he got that level 3, was able to get aggressive instantly.
Yeah, and it's not just that. We talked about Vision just before. They've got this Observer Ward on the high ground that we saw BDZ place next to all of these Radiant heroes at the very start of the game. He saw that Zhao was making the rotation through up to the top to... did he end up taking that bounty rune, or was he just checking for stacks? But he wasn't in the lane, so that enabled them to rotate through, get the stun in onto Natsumi when he was already low because of the Viper, and secure themselves a return kill.
Neon are often a team that like to
Here we go,
mid lane
mid-lane.
Yopaj. Yep. Great move. Yowei, he's not going to tick out 7 sticky napalm stacks. He's okay. Down bottom as well, we see the Viper getting dived onto the tower. So Neon able to use that awareness with the Earth Spirit rotating mid to find the kill on Nico, but again, it does cost them Yopaj.
And I like the time that he rotated as well. Normally you would think, okay, I'm going to rotate around the 4-minute mark, the 6-minute mark, secure all these runes. He went at 5 minutes, right as it turned into nighttime. So he wanted to make sure that he wasn't being scouted out until it was too late.
Top lane,
And
and
Ryu
Ryu.
dived.
Yeah, they got BDZ here as well. Roll's just a bit shy. But all he needs is the kick to help out. Ara did commit forward with the dive. But where's the TP? I think it actually got cancelled, so CTM. Yes, he'll get the kill, but he's going to even fall as well.
I think he had the net on the little troll that he'd got.
Well, we see early on, 7 kills, 6 minutes in. Something to highlight is the fact that Neon, there are no stacks at the moment around the Ancient. So this is something that CTM has been prioritizing heavily. They like giving Ryu very kind of self-sufficient offlaner. You know, Timber we've seen a couple times where he can then prioritize making these stacks. But there's none at the moment. And this is where a Batrider mid really thrives on taking Ancient stacks. So a bit of a worrying sign down bot though, Nico. We get going on here. Has some backup, and with the Treads bonus health, he's going to be okay.
He is going to secure these last 2 hits. I mean, we were talking before, but he's got those stacks
almost
built up
dead.
onto him.
Is the ward enough, Natsumi?
Nope.
That is so greedy. Oh no. Again, every extra level in the poison attack. Such a strong spike.
And now you've even got that Viper Strike. Pierces spell immunity, so you're going to be able to chase people down, perhaps force out TPs. A lot of extra gold. You don't start with 3 TPs anymore. So that could be a pretty significant factor for Execration. And, you know, we can see rotating down towards the bot side is Yopaj. He's got his Firefly available. Not a ton of movement speed. Will he be able to catch Nico with it? Looks like he will.
Should be a kill for them. It's not even going to try and use... Oh, okay. Well, forced to use the lasso. Is he going to pop the regen? No. Just keeps his life, but they're even going to haunt down here. Palos jaunting forward. Regen coming into play for Yopaj. Palos is committed very deep, but he's got the backup of BDZ. Even Enryu's going to show up as well with the first doom committed of the game. He's got max out Scorched Earth, so should be able to chase down the Spectre. It's going to tick out in a couple seconds here. There will be no deny. So we see Palos. Oh, another kind of greedy play we're seeing out of these cores. Thought he could get away with it. Even BDZ is going to roll under the tower. An instant assassinate into the TP out. He's out of there. He's also almost level 6.
Almost level 6, and he's been part of 6 of the 7 kills so far. Fantastic rotation. There's a Seed Donor. 13 kills in 8 minutes. They're just killing people all across the map. Well, the siege is even starting towards the top side, like we were expecting. CTM, he's playing a bit more of that, I don't want to say offlane role, but he is the definition of a greedy 4 at this stage.
This is what we love to see.
Yeah, the downside, of course, is that we were talking about the Batrider, what he was lacking in the mid lane. He had a very good start to the game, getting a lot of denies off against this Razor, but if you're playing this role with CTM, it means that he can't get too many stacks off. I think these might be the first ones that he's actually going to be able to claim for his back to allow him to come back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at the Batrider's net worth. I mean, he's actually just ahead of Razor at the moment. Natsumi will fall top, though.
Again?
Yowie and BDZ. That is a big one to pick up there, Yowie. Even though he's not doing too hot in the net worth, getting a big kill on Natsumi's Juggernaut is going to slow down the carry on Neon.
Man. Things, I don't want to say things are looking bad for Neon, because they are getting a lot done with this Enchantress. And we've talked about how they're lacking stuns. They're lacking, you know, a solid way to get it on top of her and deal with her when she starts, you know, pushing out all of that right-click damage. It's not like these, you know, 4, 5 Enchantresses that we see that are like, I'm just going to build a Holy Locket and be super tanky with my Nature's Attendants and my magic resistance. No, no, no. This is a right-clicker. This is CTM wanting to deal a ton of pure damage, especially against this Spectre.
Do you like the fact that he is going for the Dragonlance though over something like a Force Staff? Because I feel like you take a look, if you force out of, you know, Supernova to reset, out of the Viper slows the Razor Static Link away from the Earth Spirit roll, like Force Staff just looks so valuable this game.
Well, that ward that he just placed was not valuable because you know that that small camp has been blocked for quite a while, and he just put an Observer ward right next to it. So easy money, easy gold coming through to BDZ there. I don't mind the Dragonlance, right? Because A, it enables you to be, you know, a bit more of that tanky threat, the extra 10 strength is always nice. And it also means that you've got an easier way to deal with the Supernova, and eventually you can still build into the Hurricane Pike. So I think it's totally fine.
You do see, how's Palace going on the Spectre? He's close to the Echo Saber. He's going to TP back, maybe looking for a Haunt play to get out on the map here. Unfortunately, he's shy of the gold for the Robo Magi, so just a little bit off there on that timing. Would have been perfect if he had the Echo, TP back, then Haunt to join, but looking like he's still just going to fall back, farm up the jungle. They haven't made any real aggressive plays here for Neon. Is there anything we're kind of waiting for them?
Honestly, like, when they do make aggressive plays, it's not even under a smoke. They just look to group up all together and just go as this big ball of a team and force the enemy team to respond to it. So I think they're just waiting for a few of these key timings, maybe Enryu picking up his BKB because he is incredibly farmed. He's already got his Midas, he's a good 1500 gold ahead of any Dire hero, and it's not going to be too far until he does pick up that BKB. Maybe coincide with the Dragon Lance as well on CTM.
I believe there was a mechanism also completed for Nico, so he's going for a bit more of the utility route on the Viper. So we'll see how much that mechanism is going to play into these team fights here as mid lane. Yopaj, get a little bit of antsy with the haste. Again, when you got a lack of stuns, it's so hard to punish the Batrider being up in your face. They do smoke up here on Dire.
It was popping anyway, right? He picked it up 2 minutes ago, so he's got a regen now at his disposal. They've got all of their ultimates now available on Execration. You can see Spectre farming away at the other side of the map, just picking up the Echo Saber, so they're ready for a team fight to break out.
Oh, Enryu is going to try and jump back towards the tower. It's not going to be able to make it to safety as a Haunt down. There are no extra rotations, so Neon just going to try and cut their losses. They even dropped the Supernova, trying to get that little extra damage instance to kill off the Rubik. A lot of ultimates used. They will find Enryu. That is a massive Pietus as well. Oof, you hate to see it. The efficiency coming through from the Doom. They even devours on cooldown as well. So with that pick off, they're going to TP down actually. Neon recognizing the ult is on cooldown. They're going to drop the lasso. They're on top of the create wave tower, so the Omni Slash not going to come into play with the TP out. Palace is going to be able to make it. No, he'll just fall. They trade the kill on CTM, so it's a 1-for-1, but Neon are happy with that. They defend their T1 tower, and you get a big kill on Palos Spectre.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they made the rotation when the Ogrerak still hadn't made its way out to CTM. His positioning was a little odd. You know, again, you're an Enchantress, but he's gone full glass cannon. Level 8 doesn't even have a point in the Untouchable. He realizes that, well, they're probably going to be able to kill me anyway, just because they've got the Razor, they've got the Nether Toxin available on the Viper. So I think he needs to be really on point with his positioning this game. He's the captain, he's the shot caller. We'll see if he's able to bring it home.
See what Radiant want to do as well, because they did show a lot of TPs down bot to protect that tower. Got a couple heroes nearby, but also so did Dire. Gonna drop the Omnislash for the health of the mechanism burst. That's not gonna be enough to keep him alive, and now with the Doom out too. Got chase down the Earth Spirit. Yoei's gonna swing on over. He's not gonna be. Oh, nice deny. RR. Beautiful play from them. They're still gonna lose 2 heroes, and with Yopaj showing up, he's gonna haste once again. So much movement speed to be able to chase him down. They will purge that off. Is there any way to slow down Yoei? You see, same with Neon, lacking the stuns at the moment. They find 1 kill with that deny coming out on the Earth Spirit. And that is a lot of rotations down bot.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It is, and you know, it's the style of play that Neon like to go for. None of these crappy little smokes. Let's just ball up together as a team. We realize that we have the strength at this stage of the game. 3k net worth lead, even though we're behind in kills. They've taken a bit more of the map control away as well. And so Juggernaut, he's going to be able to continue farming, at least until he picks up that Maelstrom. I don't feel like they're going to want to fight with it, though. It's just a bit of a farm accelerator.
Oh, well, Yopaj hasn't had many stacks at the Ancients, but I tell you what, that is a gigantic stack.
Pretty juicy.
Oh,
Don't think they're in a position to invade either. They're more concerned about this bottom tower. Makes sense, it's going to open up a decent amount of the map. Nico's going to claim that last hit.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
The other factor of having that Dragon Lance on the Enchantress as well. Base attack range, 575. Dragonlance adds 140. In case my AU maths aren't wrong, that is 715. And just have a quick look over at the Spectre with the dispersion max radius for the damage being returned to you. It's 700. So obviously between attacks, you're going to be wanting to start a step backwards just for that little bit of extra impetus damage, but you're also going to be avoiding a ton of this damage coming back towards you.
Opage, that stack finished his blink and almost a K change in the bank as well towards the BKB. He is in fighting shape here to try and reveal
Is under attack.
the blink dagger. However, Radiant, their ultimates, they are still on cooldown, so they're not really going to be able to answer the call to defend mid. In fact, they're just going to glyph it up. See how their defense starts to mount though. Dire have an incredible ward on the backline in between this tier 1 mid and tier 2. It's just the name of the game. You see,
Ooh, they stole it. That's pretty key. Being able to take away that Nether Toxin against a Spectre. It means that even though he's got this Haunt available, you can see he's level 12, but you know, he was kind of considering it, but thinking twice.
they do, like usually I'd say with this lineup, they're going to suffer actually holding him in the next Nether Toxin. Is hold that thought, Neon. They're going to smoke up. They should know this smoke is happening because the sentry placed without seeing anyone. So Nico's in a great spot to pop it. On the higher ground, blinking forward, Lasso Doom, everything committed on top of the Viper, but they're going to try and cancel him out of the fight. Static Link drained as well. Yoe has only got 28 damage here, so Execration, they have to look to count their losses. As they get back, there's no stunts at the moment with the Lasso on cooldown. Natsumi, nice silence, but still, the movement speed. Jug's moving so incredibly fast. Phase on cooldown at the moment, another kick slowing them down. The sticky napalm is starting to stack up. How far do they want to push on forward? Because Nico's back alive in 10 seconds. The Spectre though is away for the team. Palos can it get down with the mobility? He's going to be able to make it back to safety. And now they're trying to chase it, but they can't keep up. They've gone too far. The trap has been sprung. As CTM battling it against the world, they'll drop the Supernova to claim the kill as well. And while we do see Palos, he'll lose his life there. Januel to pick it up. So all in all, I mean, that's a 2 for 2. And not too much happening in regards to the net worth after that fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a 5k lead, so Neon are going to be feeling reasonably okay with it. You've got the Doom, right? You've got the Midas available. They had used the Devour during all of that, so, you know, you're getting a good amount of value out of these sorts of rotations. Is this going to be a kill onto the Razor?
Maybe. He stole the plasma field, Junior. Wow! What a play on the instant tip from Natsumi. And Yopage as well. Oh, man. This is something I was going to bring up just before that fight, is that take a look at Rubik's net worth. He is the, well, at least the third highest, so the second highest, I should say, out of all the supports. And this is a position 5, but it's just showing, like, the Nether Toxin is such an incredible ability to steal. Even though it's only level 1, you can clear out creep waves. You can play like a Treant Protector role almost. So just playing the dead lane, shoving it out, getting any little farm you can get. And we'll see later on how this is going to come into play with those items. Because honestly, taking a look at Neon, like, they've got some pretty good scaling heroes.
Yeah, they got great scaling on their heroes. Also, we were talking about, you know, the standard position for Rubik build, going the Aether Lens into the Blink Dagger. He's changing it up a little bit. He's gone the Force Staff instead. I like it. It's going to be great against the Viper. Great against, of course, getting out of that Magnetize, out of the Static Link. And that's being comboed together with the eventual Hurricane Pike that we were expecting on CTM. He's starting to build into that as well. So 2 Force Staffs already. We've also seen one queued up by Yopage. Makes total sense. He's going to get it after his BKB. So that's a huge timing coming through. When are they going to be able to use a lot of this mobility to really take control of how these fights are happening?
Well, they might actually look to smoke up. I think that was just Blink picked up on the Doom. He's got the ultimate available. Omni Slash in a couple seconds. Also Sunj and Yasha on Natsumi's Juggernaut. And then while we take a look at Dire, Holy Locket, trying to see any other items. BKB still shy on the Razor. BKB shy on Nico as well. And the Spectre is a bit away from the Manta. So they are behind in regards to items. And this is something where Neon can look to punish as they're setting up on Yoe top. Yopage, can he just get in range for the blink? Yoe is pretty speedy. Back to safety.
Dire's middle tower is under
Carlos
attack.
farming away from his team again, but again, he's got that Haunt available. I'm still kind of shocked that he doesn't have the Blade Man. You know, you have all of this damage that's being pumped out to you. The team fights are dragging on, and so you're just going to get so much value out of it. It's going to enable you to take Ancients a lot faster than he currently is with his Echo Saber as well. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a mistake, to be honest.
I don't know where he didn't want to go with this smoke. Rubik and Doom, at the moment, looks like they're anticipating maybe an aggressive movement from Execration to come through mid.
I don't think they want to smoke it. They're so close to having 4 stuff on this Enchantress, and pretty close on the Rubik as well. But well, they end up doing it, feeling the confidence of this
War Stomp just shy. With the BKB pop, they're going to be able to chuck the Doom once again on Nico. Got some help in the Sunray, but that is not going to be enough here. They even stole the Viper Strike as well, which is level 2, so something to keep in mind for Januel. The next swap, 240 seconds.
With that, again, Midas
Fire.
used.
They're actually coming on over. Haunt out. Great plasma field. Look at the AoE damage coming out. They're going to end up bringing down the Rubik. They'll find Enryu as well. A quick double kill for Yowei, but they're looking to punish for more. As Natsumi cannot claim the Juggernaut. He's got that healing ward and even the capability of the Blade Fury. So a nice fast-paced move from Execration. They get a little bit of revenge there.
No massive Pidus either. He made sure to use it. He made sure to use that Devour. So it's not the worst. You know, you used all of your cooldowns. You gave a little bit of space. Now you've got the 4-star finished up on CTM. It's only 300 gold away on this Rubik as well. Much closer to that Hurricane Pike. So honestly, during all of that,
it's pretty fast too. Yowei. Got Natsumi, CTM. That should be plenty of damage with the Omni Slash dropped. Great kill from them. Yowei. It was starting to pick up some steam here on the Razor, and guess who, Scam? At heart, it is always this call. Always the man is closing in on the Hurricane Pike, 353 gold bounty to him, and that pickoff is going to lead them into Roshan.
Yeah, they realized no Haunt. That's really the thing that we need to be most aware of. I guess Magnetize as well. BDZ has been playing a fantastic game. He is by far the best player right now on Execration, just with his comfort pick, being able to come through, influence so many team fights.
Oh, Nico.
The Ags.
Caught out again. Gonna get back to safety. BDZ gonna try and protect him for a short duration. Alos even got a TP in. Stole the Viper Strike. No way to jump at the moment with the lasso on cooldown. They are not going to be able to find Nico.
He's totally healthy though. He got salved up. He's got an urn ticking on him.
Have they got banter? They do.
4 stuff now available on the Rubik as well. Hurricane Pike on the Enchantress. She's going to be dishing out a ton of damage. And you have to. You know, the first couple of those fights, honestly, CTM wasn't super present. He wasn't there at a lot of the times where he could have been dealing damage, just choosing the time to farm instead. It makes sense. You know, they felt like they could take him out with the use of that lasso and the Doom. Didn't need the Enchantress's impact, but now is the time. This next 7 or so minutes is where CTM really needs to come on.
How even do you feel like this game is compared to the net worth? Because I know Neon have a 7,000 lead at the moment.
It depends, right? Like, if they're actually able to make good use out of this advantage with the tools that they have at their disposal, with giving a lot more of this farm over to their supports, then, you know, it can obviously be great.
Push,
Oh, well, this is a good way to start.
as well, freshly picked up, once again, dragging back the Viper. This time, he's way too far away from any assistance from the team. They're going to jump in, and Ryu Doom out with the Horn. They're going to try and follow up with the buybacks here. They know that a lot of ultimates were committed with the Supernova in a perfect position. It's going to blow up, stunning all 3. The damage, it's too much. Neon, the BKB's wasted. They'll lose 3. What a fight from Execration. You buy back on Nico to rejoin them, dropping the Supernova away from the potential of the Juggernaut to deal with.
That was again another Magnetize coming out from BDZ. He dealt more damage than the Spectre in that team fight. It was nuts. And again, Scam, he just wasn't in position. Less than 1k damage. They were fighting around this choke point with no vision. And he was, I think he got even a miss from the low ground there. Even Enryu, I think there was perhaps a little bit of miscommunication coming through because Scam, he was hitting onto that egg and it was only about a hit or 2 away.
BDZ again! BDZ! He's just finding target after target. He'll drop the Omni, but he's got the Sunray heal. How is this man alive? He should tick out. But that's just space. Roche is falling. They'll lose RR as well. The Age is picked up on Palos. In and out they go. Snatch and grab has been completed.
This is so tense. Like every single team fight feels like it could go either way, and it's just the individual brilliance coming out from someone like BDZ that's turning the tide.
And that's big now as well, taking the Aegis away from Radiant. Did I hear an BKB? Yeah, Yopaj. He popped BKB. Down to 7 seconds now. Okay.
It's just a farming BKB, you know?
Oh, yeah. 100%. Oh, Viper, Choreo, CTM. Oh, he doesn't make it to the low ground. No TP2. Radiant swinging over. I have the tier 1 tower for the focal point to be able to rejoin the fight.
They kicked it back into
holding it
nether
back.
toxin.
But they're straining away all the damage here. They're going to be careful. Spectre still alive somehow. Got to keep in mind he's got the Aegis as well. And Natsumi with the Blade Fury and cooldown. The Juggernaut's going to fall. They'll roll in and make it at third. It's Execration. They don't give a damn about the net worth advantage that Neon have.
Holy crap. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but BDZ is insane! He's getting the stuns off, he's rolling in, he's getting these massive magnetizers, dealing a crapload of damage. Again, number 2 damage done in that fight. He kicks the Enchantress back into the nether toxin so that they're able to take him out. Like, look at all of the faith that they're putting into this Enchantress. He's even got the Grove Bow. He needs to do damage, and he's making sure that that does not happen.
Yeah, this is quite the crazy performance from BDZ. 4, 2, and 15. He's their only stun right now on Dire. And with the amount of work that he's putting in this game, he has an Aghanim's completed.
Oh. Is there a BDZ fan club?
There has to be. There has to be from a game like this. Talk to me about this Ags on the Earth Spirit. What do you think it's going to be able to provide Execration here in this game?
Well, you've got the things like the lasso and the doom, right? So you just make him into stone and then kick him away. Then suddenly, all of this early initiation that Neon might have, it's gone down the toilet.
If you turn to stone, the lasso's not going to pull them back, right? It'll disjoin?
Honestly, never seen it. But
yeah,
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go with yes.
So I wonder if like a blink could be the next route, because he's got the 8th lens queued up, but you can offer a lot of defensive factors now. Blink in, stone, either with whoever gets doomed, whoever gets lassoed, whoever gets omni slash, whatever is the capability here for BDZ. Again, I mean, he is showing up in this game 1.
Yeah, I'm sure they're praying for a psychic headband to come out as well. That would be amazing for him.
Dire, smoked up, running up the triangle. Natsumi's going to be careful. Going to give them the vision advantage right now, so they scout out everyone, but who do they want to jump on? Haven't really found the jump at the moment. Although Enryu, no, he's so split. Gonna get the BKB into the TP out. He's gonna chuck out the Doom, but there's no follow-up, no stuns, no damage. Omni Slash gets disjointed as well. 2 ultimates completely wasted. As OB.Neon, they need a retreat. A Blade Fury stops the roll-in stun. They're doing a lot of damage on Palace at the moment. Enryu stuck in the tree line, but Yopaj, they'll kick it to stone. Back away to safety. The lasso, they haven't found a target just yet. Finally, it's on the magic immunity on the Razor, but it's still protecting him. So Yopaj, he's got a TP out, but he won't be successful. A quick Ure Scepter to cancel his Execration. Find 2. They might even make it a 3rd. CTM. Okay, he's out of there.
Was another one of these team fights where you're running away, and you never want that to be the case when you're playing an Enchantress. Like, they're getting closer to you. They're taking less damage, and BDZ, he's so good.
And all of a sudden, this net worth that was a 7,000 advantage for Neon is now crumbling. They've got a 1,000 net worth lead. It's going to drop after this tower. Palos, top of the net worth. He's got Skadi, Manta, Echo Saber. And he is level 20 as well. Went for the 400 health. He's a beast. 3,400 life pool to go through.
They've also now got that Lotus Orb available as well, so you've got that little bit of an extra way to get rid of those sticky napalm stacks, to make sure that the lasso isn't quite as effective against you. Same sort of thing with the Doom. Omni Slash as well on top of that. So many single target ultimates available for Neon, but you get a simple Lotus off. Can be quite rough. What happens if you Lotus Orb a spell steal? I've never seen that.
Go pause. Wherever BDZ is, you gotta be cautious now with his performance. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain. I can't imagine. Feels like it just nulls it out, right?
But imagine if you got it. Imagine if you got a spell or something like
Extra
that.
spell.
You stole spell steal. Then you could use it against
Oh
them.
no. The power. Dial. Smoked up. They're trying to bait this mid wave, but
CTM.
eyes are on CTM. Again, they'll get the jump. BDZ, the man
for
of this
more.
game, and they've got the vision as well with the horn. So they see the rest of Neon trying to retreat back to safety. They'll buy back on CTM. Now with the haunts on cooldown, do they want to smoke up? Do they have one is the big question though. Yeah, they do. Genuel putting one in the inventory, but it's taking a little bit too long. Dire, they've been able to reset their positioning. How can they find an angle though? Scan connects. Dire can just pop themselves in a power position on the high ground. Nico again the bait. He's going to be able to pop the smoke. Yopaj needs the vision. Is going to move him forward. BKB, it's a little bit too late though before the Viper Strike. So his blink's getting cancelled. Nico forced off down to the low ground, but Yahweh now he's got a DD. The Supernova, it's a long way from the fight. They need to cut it back onto the high ground. Now with the air, it's going to end up popping, stunning them all up. The Doom's out. Razor, he hasn't been able to steal any damage at the moment. This could be the fight for Neon to hit back. Lasso controlling. Palace, he's in trouble. Warsom's up, but look at the Mercantile again. BDZ, he's ripping them apart. The magic damage, it's too much to handle. He'll roll in after the buyback. 3 are down. Can he catch any more? Blink away, Yopaj.
He's going for it.
Plasma field. Oh, so close.
If he had a remnant, it just came up towards the end of the roll. That is so unfortunate, but still, what a turnaround, being able to come back again. And now the net worth slightly in Execration's favor. It forced the buyback, and it was a pretty damn good supernova, but whew, this game is on a knife's edge.
It looked like it wasn't the greatest supernova to start, but Execration did an incredible job to make it back on their high ground, stunned on 3, all the AoE damage. When Radiant's BKBs, I mean, there's such a low... Yopaj?
Oh, they found
He's
him.
got BKB. He should be able to TP out. Yes, sir. He's back to safety. Okay. We're just seeing, though, when these BKBs, they're expiring, they are getting shredded from all the magic damage and all this AoE damage that Execration have.
Yeah, I do agree. I feel like that supernova was... You mentioned that it wasn't the greatest. I mean, Nia just kept running into it. That's probably why it was a better one.
I mean, still...
Smoke coming out. That might have been revealed. Yeah, they do ping it out immediately. One of the few mistakes that we've seen so far from Execration. Smoking behind the Razor. They're going to back up to the safety of their high ground.
Alright, what do we got here? Omni cooldown, Lasso cooldown, Doom cooldown as well. Radiant, they've got a pretty good ward around that high ground near the secret shop. But I don't actually know if they can take this fight head on with all their abilities on cooldown.
I mean, when you think about it, you never want to be caught in an enclosed space like this. You know, you're against a Spectre that's just going to be able to divide and conquer. You're going to have the Nether Toxin on the ground. You're going to have Magnetize. You're going to have, like, a couple of cliff spots where a Sunray can be perfect in combination together with a Supernova. You need to take these fights in the open field. So if I was Neon, I would back off completely. I would look to counter smoke once all of my ultimates are available and look to try and catch Execration. You know, maybe next to Roche Pit, maybe in mid lane or something like that.
Yeah, we're seeing as well, like, the issue with the Haunt coming through, like you just said, in a choke point, the divide and conquer that the Spectre has. We brought up in the draft that these supports are just going to be food for the illusions, food for the Spectre. But another thing to mention is that Radiant, they are very much relying on Yopaj to get this jump. That Blink, Lasso, drag back, instantly just cancel one hero out of the fight. But if you get the Viper Strike, you know, that can cancel the Blink opportunity from Yopaj. Even better is that Horn. So I don't know how they're going to do it on Neon, but you have to get the jump before the Haunt comes through. Otherwise, it just feels like this Batrider capability, it's taken out a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. I mean, they knew they smoked, but they're
not
still
backing
here
up.
nearby. Haunt, there's Division, Enryu, BKB. Let's see if they're just going to try and retreat away, or are they going to stand their ground? Well, Enryu's BKB is about to expire, and they should be able to catch him out here. Nice Warstorm,
the legs.
Spider Legs, Force Staff as well. Enryu, there's no chance he makes it away here. They have to cut their losses. He's going to fall inside the jungle, but Radiant, they're still sticking around. CTM glimmered up, but they got the detection. A rolling kickback away from the high ground. As they'll lose 2. And guess what? Gaben's on their side. Roche is up in 5 seconds. Yopaj, blink in. They've got the Omni. That's a lot committed. Yoe's well just sipping over. Oh my. He almost fell. One more slash would have been enough. He has to pop the ultimate for that. They stole the egg.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. That's level 3 egg too.
I see you, Zhao. We could see a big play happen around this Roche pit. I mean, that was the dieback on BDZ, so he's not going to be available. But they don't seem to care. They're having confidence in their ability to take this fight. I suppose the Doom is still dead. I mean, Doom, of course, such a strong ability to be able to use in these close encounters, but I think
Nico?
to spook him enough. Nico
I'm
just
lining
walks
here.
in.
There's the
egg.
Rubik's Cube egg on the high ground. Yoe, he's posturing really aggressively, but I guess he's recognizing that. Yopaj, he snatched it! Yopaj snatched the Aegis, but he's still going to lose the first life as well. As Natsumi lost 186 damage, so Natsumi, he's got no impact at the moment. They'll kill Yopaj a second time, and again, Neon, they have to watch their friends fall with no assistance.
Reinforce.
And Ryu, gonna jump in, but I don't think you want to take this fight right now. He's got the Doom, but they have to be so cautious. The Lotus Orb reflects the ultimate. The bashes are there as well, but where's the damage? They're going to buy back on the Batrider, but they'll instantly melt through and Ryu. And now with the numbers advantage, let's see if they can reset here. The Doom's about to expire. Yopaji doesn't have the lasso with the flame break. Bounce back powers. He's A-okay. He's even got the cheese as well. So Execration, they're in fighting shape. They can run back in and get the catch, but unfortunately with BDZ not nearby, they are lacking that opportunity.
Execration are just taking these fights so much better than Neon. Like, even just then, they made sure to place that observer ward up top. They didn't care that Neon also had vision. Eventually, they were able to get rid of it because of the D ward that happened, but that just enabled them to have complete understanding of how far they could retreat. Are they going to try and go in with one person? And then you just saw the quick fingers again with that Lotus Orb, able to get off, reflects the Doom, and it means that, once again, Ryu, his impact hasn't been quite what you were expecting, considering the amazing start that he had in terms of his net worth.
7,000 net worth lead for Execration. Look at that net worth graph. It is a plummet down into Dai's favor. They are all cylinders clicking, and like you said, they are just executing these fights at another level compared to Neon. Are there any big timings that we're going to see come through for them shortly? Any items that we're waiting for us?
Top tower is under attack.
They don't have much of anything right now on Neon.
Yoe? Oh, you got to be so careful. Start on forward. Instant BKB. They have to kite the static link. They're able to do so. Still was able to soak away 52 damage. They're going to look to reset. A whole lot committed. Doom still on cooldown as well from Enryu.
It's greedy.
More stuff forward, double force, Enryu back to safety, but the Horn's gonna fly. Spider Legs doing a great job to kite this, but they're being able to catch out CTM. The Enchantress, no man's land, unable to get back to safety with the rest of the team.
It was a haunt for an Enchantress at the end of the day. I mean, this is not what Scam was expecting when he picked this up and when he put all that priority into himself. He's at the bottom of the net worth right now. He's not dealing anywhere near enough damage in these team fights. He's gonna continue to save his gold, make sure that he's got that buyback available in a minute's time, but that BKB is absolutely necessary for him if he wants to make any kind of impact in these team fights.
Yeah, and I felt like Radiant scaling late game would have been pretty decent with how CTM was farming, but he's just 4, 8, and 6, dropped to the bottom of the net worth. Yes, he's got a lot of farm considering as a support, but we're just not seeing his impact compared to what BDZ has or even RR as well. But I do want to mention, or at least ask, what do we feel like is going to be the late game matchup for Natsumi's Juggernaut? How is he going to fare against Execration?
It's going to take a lot, right? Like, are we going to see a potential Ag Scepter come out for this Doom so that you get the break onto the Spectre? That might be it. Are we going to bank on Zhao being able to steal the Nether Toxins so that you can deal with the Spectre? Like, you're still against a Phoenix. That's something that you need to be concerned about. And it feels like every single time he's getting a full channel off onto that Sunray. Gaben, though, he's smiling on Neon. He's saying, you know what, let's try and make a game of this. He made sure to drop the leveler for them. That extra attack speed is going to be enormous, both for the Omni Slashers as well as being able to finally kill that goddamn egg.
He's also smiling on Execration. That's a DD in the bottle for Palos. He's still got the cheese in the backpack, and a nullifier is picked up here. That is an incredible item. Level 25, he's got that 5% dispersion increase. But taking a look at the nullifier and what it's going to be able to do this game. You got 3 Force Staffs, a Glimmer on the Rubik, and it's going to be so difficult to deal with the Spectre Haunt now. So they're going to smoke up, die up around their higher ground, once again playing in a position where they can pop the smoke with a vision advantage. But Radiant, they're going to go the long way down through the bottom lane.
Look at them, they're just playing around these choke points. I really love it. You know, they've got the vision. They've got the heroes on the... Well, I mean, if they make this big wraparound, it could be huge, although that's not the target that they're going for. They want to find this Spectre. You know, she's got the double damage, but not a ton of mana, and not a huge amount of survivability, it has to be said. So if you take away that Haunt potential to be able to get away to some other part of the fight, then, well, suddenly you can be food.
Yeah, I don't know how they're actually going to be able to get there fast enough, Execration. Palos. Okay, instantly after that pause. And they're coming down too. Yeah, BDZ and RR both straight away moving to connect with the Spectre. Smokes.
They're not all connected
CTM.
though. Yoe's still in mid lane. Nico around this high ground.
They're Posh hunting, blink forward. Oh, that's a big pickoff. BDZ has been doing so much work throughout the fights. Haunt in, jumps straight on top of the backline. Januel, food for the Spectre, but he's got a buyback. They don't have the outpost control, though, so we won't be able to rejoin instantly. Doom's out, no Lotus Orb to be able to protect him. The Static Link's not there as well. They need to stay on top of the Razor, but they're unable to do so. They'll kite it back, and Omni Slash unable to do any amount of damage as well. So Natsumi has to retreat back to safety with the Blade Fury, but he's getting kited. The Viper Strike slowing him down at double force into the TP out. Can he make it? No! Yahweh! Use the cancel and Natsumi will fall. He's down for 90 seconds. He doesn't have a buyback. And BDZ, the Orc Chat voice lines are there as well.
Oh, perfect timing with everything is totally right. He couldn't even just TP straight away there. I was like, but they got no stuns. There's no BD. You can't just go there. But they had the supernova. It would have popped before the TP went off. So forced to attempt to make that kind of play. Nice double force stuff coming through. But it's just not enough, and, well, they're going to finally start pressuring into the high ground. Can you imagine, 41 minutes in, first time that we're going to be breaching high ground?
Oh, Rubik's still egg again. Okay. If there's anything that could help out, I mean, Nether Toxin would be great for a high ground defense, but the Rubik's Cube Supernova Haunt in. Oh, that might just not be a factor now. Is that Horn or... Oh, so he got the shard. Sure, yeah.
Not even Shadow Step, yeah, the dispersion.
Now you got to be pretty careful
now,
with
actually,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be using the Fade Bolts, and it's like, call an ambulance, but not for me.
Now, one thing about Execration is that they do not siege fast with the Spectre. Maybe CTM can posture, dish out a ton of damage with the Impetus. Hurricane Pike, force back. There's the Rubik's Shoot on top of the backline with the lasso. The Dragging Spectre. Can he get inside the fountain? Palos, Manta, Flaybreak, further back. We've seen what happens when you're stuck in the fountain. No, Palos will fall. And Ryu somehow alive. What an incredible lasso. He's got a buyback. Haunts up in 15 seconds as well. If this fight drags on, he might be able to rejoin them. Nico's in trouble. They're going to cut their losses as the Viper will sacrifice himself to the gods. Down for 80. Are they catching more though? Natsumi shouldn't have a stun. So that is 2 down. They both have buyback though, but the lanes are so far shoved out.
I mean, again, individual brilliance. That's what needs to happen. Being able to drag the Spectre in the midst of all of that chaos back into the fountain and then flame break him back in when he tries to escape. On top of that, CTM finally able to just sit back and deal some damage. He was essentially doing the most damage on his team in that team fight, and he's almost level 20 now, so he's going to get that little bit of extra team fight control once these BKBs start to run lower with the extra untouchable slow. Hell, he might even go the Ancient and try and take this Granite Golem. That extra 10%, sorry, 15% HP is going to be super effective.
Gaben just not smiling down on Neon, it looks like. Unfortunately, Roshan, it's a long respawn. The Juggernaut potentially could have been able to take that, but take a tier 2 tower. Opage gets a ward inside the base, jump in, instantly finds the Phoenix. They want to take care of the Supernova in the fight. They need to bring him down before the dive, but the telekinesis will control.
No
Phoenix doesn't have a buyback.
Well, it's very close. It's
He's also got the
close.
25 cooldown on the lasso too. Roll in, BDZ finds a jug. Can they push him back? Nice force stuff once again. They're fighting before they're back alive on the Viper. That's a BKB. Actually, the minute a horn from your way. Roll in once again. A buyback gonna come through. Execration, they've got all 5. They've got to lose on Ryu into the instant TP. CTM will make it. But Natsumi? His Blade Fury's on cooldown. Can't sidestep the roll as well. Yopaj, he needs to do whatever he can. But he's unable to do anything. They'll lose Natsumi. He's able to get the Shadow Step as well. Yopaj, nice blink away. TP out. He's okay. Natsumi doesn't have a buyback.
Oh, not again. He's having to go all in onto just trying to win these team fights. Do they have a Philosopher's Stone? No, they don't. So he's not even able to sit that one in his inventory while he's dead for a little bit of extra gold coming his way. And, well, we talked about before with Neon, they weren't put in an advantageous position.
CTM?
Oh?
Oh, no. CTM. They got another force. They've already used it on Zhao. And
Got the
oh,
Nullifier.
even Pelos. Abyssal Blade is out. And CTM is a goner. Unable to get back in. And at least he's got a buyback. They also still Sunray, so we'll see how that's going to come into play here.
What I was saying was, Roche still ain't up, so it's not the end of the world. And, well, it's going to be another 60 seconds, though. You've got some decent tower taking potential. I kind of want to see, well, I feel like Execration aren't going to want to go onto the high ground unless they're already in a super advantageous position. They're not the type that are just going to slowly chip away, so maybe the Ag shot on Nico isn't the way to do it.
We've seen what Doom can do in the late game. This hero can just take multiple people out of a game with Refresher Orb. He now has it picked up, the double Doom capability. He is going to a Lincoln's on the Viper, the Lotus Orb as well, so we'll see how that's able to come into play here for Nico. I smoke up. They've got Jug up in a couple of seconds.
Just as it respawns, oh, the vision from the Shivas. He gets away. Ninja Gear though, he's going forward on Palace. And they finally have vision around this area, but no, taken away immediately.
What do we got? What's this Roshan as well? Third one, Refresher Shard. Getting shown with the Aegis Cheese. They're going to smoke up. All 5 Radiant themselves as well. Smoke on smoke for this third Roshan, who is able to get the jump. It all comes down to the vision. Nico on the front line, time and time again this game, the Viper's been the one to pop the smoke. It's going to instantly happen with the rolling blink. Doom is going to get caught before the ultimate. He's going to pop the BKB and Ryu instantly. He's going to get cancelled though. Refreshes out, now down to the back line. They drop the Supernova. It's unable to control anyone, but a lot of ultimates being forced. They're looking to reset. Is Yahweh? How has someone died just yet? CTM? TP out? And Ryu? He's got TP as well. Nullify is there. I don't think he'll make it. Blink up in a couple seconds, maybe? Oh, BDZ. He's on point.
Poor man, he ran across the entire map just to try and get away from this pesky Spectre. Ends up using at least the dispersion, but... Ooh, man, it's going to open up that Roche pit.
Such a chaotic fight. I mean, Enryu, he blinked into the roll, so got stunned. He couldn't get that initiation. I think he doomed the Lincolns on the Viper. So he had to refresh. Yeah, but it just wasn't a factor at all.
Who do we even give this shot over to? I guess it has to be the Phoenix, right? But I don't know, there's an argument for the Spectre as well on top of this.
Who's holding it? They give it to Yahweh at the moment.
I guess just wanting him to frontline and being able to refresh the Aeon disc is the key factor for them. Oh, he's also got, I believe, the Ag Scepter coming out to him. So we could see some Tesla coil action. I mean, we were talking about before, how are they going to actually breach this high ground? Maybe the Viper Ags. No. Just use the old Tesla coil.
I guess even if Razor eventually gets the Aghanim Scepter for himself, which, of course, like you said,
he's got it.
Up. Yeah, just picked up. So now that capability to siege is increased here for Yolwei. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, the double Ags with the Eye of the Storm. Yep. Oh boy, that is. What was the 25 tunnel he went for? He went for the attack speed. Okay.
But the strike interval at level 20 he went for. So it is some machine gun lightning strikes, that's for sure.
Any big talent timings, I should say, that we're about to see?
Nothing major, I don't think. I mean, it feels like Jugs had his level 25 for a while, and well, to be honest, they haven't really made that much use out of it.
Yeah, that last fight, the Omni Slash just got completely negated thanks to Yolwei's Yule Scepter. So heading into the later stages, we could even see some form of like a Wind Waker to help out. First, like a Lasso, maybe a Doom, Omni Slash. Yeah. We were highlighting that stone factor, so we'll see what the next item's going to be here for Yolwei.
Yeah, and it's the super late stages of the game, so they're not lacking damage on Execration right now. They've got the Sunray, they've got the Spectre. That's all you realistically need. You know, they're able to toss out these Viper Strikes, but I feel like when Nico gets to 25, he's not going to go the Nether Toxin cooldown. He's going to go the Corrosive Skin, Slow, and Resistance, just to be able to, again, be that survivable beast on the front lines. Because when you think about it, where is the right-click damage coming from outside of the Enchantress and the Juggernaut? It's basically all magic, and you're going to have an inbuilt 50% magic resistance. I'll take that.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's just going to be so difficult to go through the Viper. And he just doesn't even have a BKB. He's like, I got enough magic resistance. Mech, Lotus, Lincolns, plenty of defensive items here for them. Looks like finally, Lane's getting in a position where Execration feel content with poking up the high ground.
He actually got the Ag's blessing, so he didn't even need to waste a spot on the Ags. And, well, are you ready for a light show?
No Paj, Lasso, drag back. They're going to try and burst down the Viper with the Haunt on top of the backline as well. Nico falling incredibly low, and they're able to bring him down.
Look at the lightning.
Buy back if he wants to reset, but the Rax is just getting shredded apart. Aeon Disc finds the proc. How are they able to reset and go back in? Doom's out and Ryu refresh a pot, but the control is not there. Telekinesis, Spectre. He does have the Aegis here, but Juggernaut, he's zoning away the reinforcements as Palos is getting chunked down. CTM at the moment is having a free fight. When they're unable to get on top of the Enchantress, we see these Impetus go to work. We'll make it back up, Palos. One of the flame breaks. Lasso's up in 15 here. Where's he going to Shadow Step to? Straight on top of the backline. Januel up and out he goes, but it kind of baits BDZ. He's going to roll in. Silence on 2. And now with the Earth Spirit, he's in no man's land. But they won't have a way to stop the roll out. No block, but they're still hunting. Lasso, there we go. Back up. They're able to catch up the Razor. Yolwei, he's going to fall. A great fight for Neon. As we're able to stall this out, and you see when Execration on... Oh, Yopaj! Roll should be back up. Flame break. Can he get another block? He can! The stun. Is it too long? I don't think it is.
Oh, he made
himself the stone. Sit in front of him. What's going on? This Aghanim always out. He's surfing to safety as BDZ. Yopaj is still trying to find him. But they live to survive. Oh, Shadow Step. Palos. Okay. So all after that, the 4 set of racks claim bot from the creeps. There's still battle going on the river. CTM's okay with the telekinesis. They also got the range racks up top as well.
Have we highlighted that? Sorry if you mentioned it before, but the Rubik shard with the telekinesis.
No, I just saw that. Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah. And he's got the telekinesis land distance talent as well, so he's just gonna completely reposition all these heroes in team fights. He's like, you know what? You've got your Earth Spirit. Rubik does just as good a job. Well, maybe not, but you get what they're thinking.
We're seeing what happens though. Neon, if you get the jump of the Lasso, they're eliminating one hero to start. And this is down to when you're on a high ground, when you're on your own high ground and in your base, one Enchantress, it's so much more difficult to heavily commit deep inside to punish her. Otherwise, if you don't bring her down instantly, you're kind of getting kited further and further back. Next minute, you're behind the throne, and next minute, you're just going to get punished. So we see that time Neon, the jump from them, you know, the lasso, finding a couple targets, and also the big thing is we've been bringing up constantly this game, you know, CTM hasn't been dishing out the damage, but that was one of the fights where we really saw it come into fruition.
I kind of feel like that was the first fight, once this Enchantress is, I'm going to say come online, just even had a Dragon Lance, that they've been able to, like, take a fight when Execration's on the run, and you saw how different it was. You know, you finally get the use out of your Enchanted Quiver. You can finally have that max range to be able to attack people with your impetus. And, well, if he can get to level 25, it can be even more. You know, you get that extra 6.5% impetus damage. You are able to be much more of a beast in these team fights. He's also not even had to use his BKB at all just yet, and he's going into a Moon Shard on top of that. So he just wants to rain down hell from afar.
These are some big items getting picked up for Neon. Yopaj has almost got enough for the Aghanims, so that is going to be incredible. Another save like we saw previously with Zhang Yuo's Aghanim Shard, but also Enryu, he's got his Aghanims. So now you have a break on the Doom. It's going to last an extra 6 seconds. So potentially, Yopaj, is he going to buy out for the Ags or hold buyback? That's the question.
Hell, it's even good against the Viper and the Razor, right? It seems like a lot of these fights are an issue because they can just run away with the overall lack of stuns.
Mid lane, Nico showing. Force stuff. Oh no! That's not the start you're looking for. They've got to get back. You cannot stick around now. You messed up your initiation.
Yeah, he did it in the wrong order. He force-stuffed himself and then tried to lasso him with that pop of the Lincolns.
Now Dire, instant smoke. Haunt for the vision. Radiant on the backline. Palace trying to target down the Rubik. Are they able to bring him down? Look at the shot. It's back to safety. The Supernova got used as well. They're going to commit on forward. Palace still takes care of the Rubik. They won't have Januel. He doesn't have a buyback as well.
Gaben, what are we thinking with this Roche? 7 seconds away. What are you thinking? Come on, make a prediction. Quick.
Minute 50.
Instant. Ah, you're pretty close. All right. Closest without going over is me, technically. We are using price and here.
Honestly, I was hoping it was just a long, like the longest Roche one. I want a 60-minute game. We're 4 minutes away. Give me 60 minutes.
Yeah, we've had like a 57-minute game, right? But we ourselves have not had a 60-minute game, so I'm hype.
Everyone else has been getting 60. I know, B-Cop and Black got that 100-minute thriller. Gods and Ponlo keep getting 60 minutes. Jump in, Palos. He's got a DD. Yopaj, BKB Pop, and Ryu. An incredible Wall Stomp. Doom's out as well. This is the Aghanims, dude. To the break is there. They'll find him. He doesn't have a buyback. Aeon Diz, Omni Slash. Razor's going to fall as well. 2 down instantly. Neon. What a counter initiation. They're able to protect Yopaj, and they want more blood too. He's back in the midst of it all. Nico, can they cancel? Oh, no. That's so close. So close. But guess what? 4th Roshan, it could be for the taking here. In fact, maybe RR's for the taking. Yopaj, he's got the gem. It's on cooldown.
It's nighttime. They might not see him eventually. Oh. 5 seconds away. Tick-tock on the Roche clock.
Yeah.
And man,
need that
Yopaj, he's come into his own. Like, he...
Oh, yeah.
Had a bit of a rough, like, 20 to, let's say, 40 minutes, but multiple times now. Dragging Spectre back into the fountain. Dragging targets away. Yeah, sure, there was one botched initiation just before, but other than that, he's been able to create the chaos needed to allow Enryu to get these Dooms off. That Ags Doom is fantastic.
And he doesn't have to buy Ags now. Or do you give it to Natsumi? Who do you give these Ags to?
Yopaj. Just give it to Yopaj. I think it's totally fine.
And Refresher Shard too. So they're going to have... Oh no. I mean, late game... Okay. So triple Doom. He's got a Refresher, I believe I saw queued up for Batrider. Yep, so he's eventually going to have double Lasso. But you see... I mean, it's you need an answer to the Batrider. Often we see in the draft a hard dispel is required, and if you don't have that, there is a massive opportunity in the late game for an instant pickoff. I mean, at last 4 seconds, you can drag someone so far away from the team, and we are just seeing in these fights, Yopaj gets the jump, they're not haunting to cancel the blink fast enough, and just with having a numbers advantage, Neon are doing so much work with that. And now they have the net worth lead. They have the advantage from Roche.
It's pretty ballsy. They're going all out. They're all in on this, it seems, because CTM, he bought out his Moonshard. He's level 25. He knows he can be a beast. You've also got Natsumi, who I believe finished up his purchase of the Ags. I'm not quite sure where it is just yet. But, wait, did he buy it and sell it? I'm sure I saw that come up. Oh, wait, it was an Ag's Blessing, right.
What was this?
Ag's Blessing on Natsumi. So he doesn't have buyback, he has Aegis though, and he's going to continue farming this wave. It's always scary though, it's nighttime, it's spooky, and you don't know where Execration are just yet.
Yeah, the issue is as well is that bottom lane. You see Yopaj is trying to deal with it at the moment, but would you kind of prefer to see Neon almost push through bot instead to not have to worry about the super creeps that are down there?
Maybe they're thinking that luck is on their side and they're going to get better tier 5 items. We've already seen one series kind of decided by it, with a Ballista being picked up in that TB versus Arc Warden game. What could be the one? What could be the thing that shifts something either way for either team? I think Mirror Shield could be quite nice against all this Doom, Lasso, everything going your way.
I think
even Fallen Sky, hell.
I think Gods was the one to say it, where as soon as it gets 60 minutes, can we just have a pause? Like, can we look at these neutral items again and just get a bit of a recap? Because I'm not gonna lie, like, there are just, you never see them. You never really see them. Although apparently in these qualifiers, we're seeing them constantly. And we're gonna see them again.
He went and bought his own
minutes,
Moonshard as well. So he doesn't have buyback.
all
He's 3,000
in.
gold
Fallen
away.
Sky. Oh, there's one of them. There's one of the big ones. But Radiant, they're
Who did you get
smoking
that
up
to?
before hitting items. You gotta hit creeps to get these. Smoke up. Die up. They've got this
playing around
outpost
their
control. The vision has Yopaj able to get the jump. He's actually blinking back to safety. And now Natsumi, he's pushing on forward. But you've got to be careful because the blink's on cooldown for Yopaj. So instantly with Hawk with the wall stop on top of the backline as well. And Ryu Doom, it's going to get reflected though. So he won't have the double Doom. They're controlling them up at the moment, but the damage is too much for them to deal with. Natsumi, the turn to stone. Supernova in the middle of the fight. CTM, he controlled the outpost. The buybacks are going to be able to rejoin with the TPs, but can they protect the Juggernaut? The Aegis respawn, you said, they're all in on this team fight. They bought out for the items, they need help and they need it now. Natsumi, Blade Fury, telekinesis, track back, he's still alive, Natsumi! He's away, and Ryu, blink in, double doom, you punch as well, that's gonna be a wipe! Execration! They lose all 5, and look at Yopaj instantly. He's gonna shove out mid.
Oh, this game. We don't even need tier 5 items if we've got things happening like that. Oh, tried to get the go on. That's a big buyback being used there. Are they gonna commit on
Condition.
this? Ooh.
It's a
Level
win
30 on Palace as
condition.
well.
What buybacks were used there from Radiant? So Yopaj and Januel. Oh, that Rubik shard, my god.
Just yeeted him across the map, basically. Giants ring, baby.
Ha ha ha. Who do we give
Give it
that
to
to? Give it to Doom.
I guess he doesn't have much. He doesn't have much strength, which kind of sucks.
The movement speed could be nice for him. Look at the dead. That's poopy.
Did you see
Apex.
the ballista on CTM?
Ooh. Oh. Oh, he's got a DD too. I mean, this... Do you like what the Spectre's been doing? Because it looks like Spectre's been prioritizing killing the Rubik instead of the Enchantress. I guess if you go Enchantress, then the Telekinesis just protects someone. But now CTM, that's an issue. Now your Enchantress is big damage.
Yeah, and you just have a look at the Rubik's items as well, right? He's got the 4-staff, he's got the Glimmer Cape, and you've got a Nullifier on your Spectre. So it makes a lot of sense to go onto that Rubik because you've essentially, you know, ruined... How much is that? Quick mass. 4,000 gold of his net worth. Maybe more, 4.5k.
Alright, What neutral items have we got? All 4 on Radiant. So Ballista is on your Enchantress, Giant's Ring on the Doom, Ex
look at the
Machina
Doom.
on Yopaj. He is huge. And
he
also
hasn't
the...
even BKB, Jet.
Oh no. The second Desolator as well is on your Juggernaut. He's actually got it backpacked at the moment. And then Dire, they've only got 3. Book of the Dead, again, kind of poopy. But that's on the Viper. We got the Fallen Sky. I've seen too many clutch Fallen Sky plays to win games over. One more is the Apex on the Spectre. Big items this game.
Oh man. For me, personally, I feel like it should be Ex Machina on the Doom, and I feel like you should give the Giant's Ring to the Batrider, because he's still holding on to this Spider Legs, and, you know, that's the cooldown for when you're able to actually go over terrain, right? Of course, you got Firefly on top of that, but you can always just go over terrain. It feels like it makes sense, and you want to be on top of people, constantly.
What is the last neutral item that you'd like to see from Dire? Is there anyone that's standing out? Oh, well, too late. Desolator.
I'm going to go with
This is the
Stygian
last.
Desolator.
Yeah, I love... That is... Wow. I've never seen a call better than that in my life.
Scanning.
That's what I'm here for.
So... Dire, you cannot play away from your Spectre now. So often we see...
Hold on, sorry to interrupt. Have a look at
Yeah?
the win prop.
Oh my... It's dead even!
20k net
Game
worth
1.
and dead even win probability.
Top 6, lower bracket round 4, Execration Neon, 2 major caliber teams, and we have a dead even game 64 minutes in from the win probability. Oh my lord, Neon have crawled their way back into this game. They were down about 15,000 net worth. Now they have a 20k net worth lead, a big win condition as well, with the Spectre buyback being forced out previously.
Look at the dude. He basically looks like Roshan in this bit. He's just standing around patrolling his
Bit of cosplay.
territory. Yeah, it's 20 seconds until Roche could potentially be up, so he's seeing if his brother's home.
That's actually so impactful, this game. The unobstructed movement. Because we see, just, again, mobility,
Against a
positioning
Razor.
to get the jump. Exactly. Razor, Viper slow. There's so many slows on Dire. One thing that we haven't brought up is the Aghanims on RR. This could be really impactful. We have yet to see Neon, I believe, honestly, actually kill the egg. So Phoenix did go for that supernova hit count. It's up to 16 at the moment. If he can drag one person in, that could just make or break it.
Yeah, and yeah, hopefully for their sake, it's not going to be another case of, I believe it was Boomy, bringing the Terrorblade into the egg, and the egg died, and TB was dead without buyback in our series yesterday. But I mean, like you said, they really only still have one egg hitter in that Juggernaut.
Look at CTM's net worth. He's 2k behind the Viper. He is...
With a
dude.
Skadi.
Yep, my god. He's 3,100 health. Are we closing on 30s? We are. So Spectre, all the talents available. Dire outside the base though. Smoked up, Observe Ward's drop.
lane's
They'll see
pushing in,
Natsumi. Hex is there. Are they able to bring him down with the initial jump? Fallen Sky, but a quick BKB, but the Doom's out as well. But the dive away is going to go back forward into the issue of Neon, because they can close the distance. Very nicely done for the Earth Spirit's going to be able to turn into stone, but still the Doom duration's way too much for them to handle. On top of the backline, Viper's down 3 or 4 as well. It's all up to Yahweh, but they're on top of the Spectre. He doesn't have a buyback. That just might be it. Spectre down, 120 seconds on the deck. Yahweh's going to fall as well. Razor, Viper instantly buying back. Can they try and rat this potentially? Yahweh, you might have to buy out for a refresher and TP bot. I think that's the only opportunity you've got. I don't see what other play they make this game. You've got Glyph, Radiant have Glyph as well. You've got to make a play. You can't go head to head versus 5 heroes.
Have the money for it though.
Nico's outside the base. Januel, he stole the static link. So Nico's doing nothing. They're soaking him dry. Meanwhile, Yahweh, he's getting caught out as well. And Ryu straight on top of him. Aeon's pop. He's already used the refresher. They're closing him. Meanwhile, the throat's exposed. Natsumi, the objective-based gaming. Natsumi's going to be able to do it. That's it. Neon Neon, they take game 1 in our elimination series.
Oh, just going back and forth constantly. They were nearly shoo-ins to win that game. You know, they had that timing around the area, Aghanim's Scepter pushing onto that high ground, but man, Yopaj coming through clutch, and Neon able to claim that game number 1.
That is... What more could we ask for? Like, what more could we ask for? The caliber of these teams, elimination series, a deficit of 15,000, the probability skyrocketing back in that favor. The graphs are a shamble. That game was a shamble. We need to send it to a break and get the help of Tsunami to break this one down.